Test, test, test. Okay, am I coming through, Molly?
Yes.
Good, good.
The stream is obviously, it's kind of lagging a bit, or like.
There is a lag, yes, exactly. So this is the Shabbat service for, let's see, what is today? Today is the 4th? And there's Rabbi.
Good evening, I should say. Good morning. Hi, how are you?
Rabbi, this is Molly Pena.
Hi, Molly. A pleasure.
Help us out this
Schecter. Can I give you one of these? There we go. So nice to meet you. Thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you.
All right, so you're in good hands here, I know, with Dan.
Yes.
And so did you, you're at Glendale Community College?
Yes.
Wonderful.
She's a recent graduate.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
Are you going to go, what are you going to continue to?
Probably live streaming or, film, TV, that sort of stuff.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, that's exciting. That's exciting. Well.
For those of you who are maybe on a Vimeo or on our stream, this is the Shabbat service for Friday, August 5th. That will begin in about 10 or 15 minutes.
All right. Nice, Dan. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. Well, so, here, this is just extra stuff?
We've got a number of things here. We've got, these are the guitar pickups.
Oh, right.
Wireless for the guitars.
Can't you use that? She's not using
I don't know if she has used those or not, since she's been here. And then this is a camera that, I don't know, this is it's a wireless camera.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Little fella, and we haven't spent time figuring out how best we're gonna use that. We have used it occasionally, at least when Jake was here.
That's right.
Twice, so.
That's right. Is that another guitar pickup right there? The cube?
These two, this, I believe, this may be a battery. This is a little cube. Not exactly sure what this is.
Well, it looks fancy.
Yeah.
That's special.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you again.
Thank
So
you.
it's Molly?
Yes.
Molly Pena.
Molly Pena?
So she's one of so we have 4 GCC students,
Oh,
graduates that are helping us out on a rotating basis. So it's really good to have them with us.
Ah, sure is, Molly. Thank you so much. And wishing you a lot of success in all your endeavors. That's exciting. You're welcome. Oh, we got something here, Dan.
So right now,
Dope.
we have here, so you see,
This is for
Rabbi. Okay. We'll leave this streak, and we talked before. Yeah. Rabbi, what we do is we typically start the stream about 15 minutes ahead of time.
Okay, great.
So that people who might log in early,
Yeah.
don't go home, don't think that
Yeah.
it's not happening.
Sounds good.
And we did talk with Jake about whether we should mute the state
Yes.
Zima
Yeah.
beforehand or not. And we haven't decided to do that. We said, well, sometimes if people muted, people can see people walking around Zima, but they don't hear anything.
Yeah.
Then they start calling.
Yeah.
Is there something wrong with this sound system?
Yeah.
Oh. So we're keeping the sound system on, and so just want to let you know that
Okay,
it
thank
is
you.
live on here. So
Okay.
so that
Good to know.
for us to understand and appreciate that others will be hearing us.
Hearing our conversations on the beam.
Yeah.
Can they pick this up right now, do you think? Yeah,
I think so.
You think they can pick this up? Okay. All
From right here, we're not close to that. We think we can.
I'm not really sure if I do have my headphones.
Why don't you put your headphones on us, and I'll just stand here and just because certainly if we're near the mics.
Yeah. So
They can
how
hear.
about this, Dan? Why don't, because I think to simulate more side conversation
Right.
would probably be around right at this level. You know?
Right.
So if
Right.
we were, yeah. So Molly, I'm wondering, maybe you can let us know, like, if you're able to pick pick up what I'm saying now to Dan, if you're able to hear that, or, because I think it will be sort of side conversation.
Right.
Or.
Right. Want to know what the
Saying hello to the beam of guests, any last minute things that Cantor and I need to go over, so all those conversations that take place. You hearing any of this,
Yes.
Molly?
Yes.
You can hear it all?
You can
Yes.
hear. How about when you hear it, if we're over here?
Yeah, let's try over here. We need to find our spot where one can't speak.
Can you hear us over here? For your,
It's like everybody else.
okay, yeah, sure.
Maybe I will tell too, because she can hear us.
Our conversations.
Right, like this, yeah.
12-second lag.
Oh, it's a 12-second lag.
I think it's a lag.
Yeah, I can hear you from.
You can hear
Oh, we can hear it.
Yes.
Okay, so we just need to understand that it's sensitive to that. I don't know if we want to work on any other solutions.
I think it may be helpful. I can see situations where it is valuable, particularly if we need to have conversations about sometimes issues come up with the students, nerves, whatever. And so publicizing side conversations on this kind of.
Sure.
So I can see that, I can't do.
Hello.
I can see that we do want to work on maybe the solution to allow for some privacy before the start of the service. I think we.
So, yeah, so what we could do is, we can see what, we have a mute button. We have a mute button,
I start the live stream 15 minutes before. So anything that said we were just testing like, wow, just having we need to be able to speak privately. We need to be able to speak to people and be privately. They may have something.
So let's see if
they don't even know what's going on to the live stream. So I think at some point they probably would like to. Oh, hey, go for it. Go for it. Yes.
Hey, Alexandria. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for being here. Inland, Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for volunteering to
Yes,
be on the Bima.
I think there's a little.
Oh, great. Do I sit on over here?
Yes, you sit right here, I sit right there. Yeah, I am too. You can put some back in. And then, if you could speak that from the center microphone.
Okay.
When you make your remarks, and it's right after Kaddish.
Right.
Because after Kaddish, after out of Kaddish, and you should go right after Shabbat.
Okay.
I think it's very easy.
And then after you're done, say that.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Alexandria.
Super. And it's nice because now I there's a little strip.
Yeah. And what you can do too, feel free.
No, it's I'll be wearing my mask intermittently, whatever you're comfortable doing. So I'm sitting next to you. I'm not put my mask on, just to keep you safe. But please don't feel like you need to do that. It's really your choice. Feel free to adjust that, however you want to do it. The best way to do it is like right like that. Okay, great. And usually, if you stand straight, it'll like pick up, right at your mouth.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that should pick you up. Perfect. Okay, great. And if you need it, here's a Shabbat leaflet.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you. How's the family?
Everyone's fine.
Oh, yeah.
I can't think of the last time I've seen you.
Yeah, it's been a while since they've been here at the sanctuary. I was thinking about it last before Passover Seder. It was probably 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago, because Tina just turned 16. Well, no, this is how she turned 13. What is the last time that they, I guess are here?
So is there such a senior in high school? Or
He's in senior because he's an October birthday.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so we're in the midst of, getting ready for,
But senior year's a lot, but at least he gets to really be here in person.
There is a check.
Yeah, that will be nice. Yeah,
He stay in California this year?
because he would like to stay, he's going to go to a music program, he wants to get into music programs. So there are a lot of good ones right Yeah, so there's an interview, there's an audition, there's an essay, so there's all these things to sort of.
These are great ideas and great add-ons solutions.
Easy fixes.
Yes.
We may be able to-
Thank you so much for double coverage. I appreciate it.
Hey, Deandra. Hi, how are you feeling? Better. I didn't realize that you were not feeling well, so I'm glad to hear that you're feeling better. Thank you for being here today. I hope you're taking it easy and.
I was looking forward to coming tonight because there's air conditioning.
Yes.
Not really in my house, so.
Oh, really? Is there air conditioning in your house right now?
Just upstairs. I'm Alexandria. Hi.
Yeah,
Nice to meet
Alexandria,
you.
Allison. Is everything all right? Yeah,
I know, we
great.
have-
Thank you for
yeah.
the 2 mics.
Well, there's a lot of
It's all good. Well, since
Oh,
you're
yeah,
from
It's nice to partner with you.
Yeah.
and you're,
I'm on the
financial
board.
support.
I'm financial secretary.
I'm Norman.
Yeah, I guess so.
I was like, did you choose that spot or get
No,
that spot?
asked me to, so, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, well, I love it. We're so happy to. Yeah, we get a little sliding in before the high holidays.
this is five.
Awesome, wow.
And plus the one I did before.
Yeah, great.
I'm a whole month and a half.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you're a pro. You're a pro now.
Yeah.
Oh, it was, wait, what's it?
No, thank you, Don. You just take good care of
So,
yourself and
however many years that
try to
but,
take it easy and
because it got, it was like beige.
Yeah.
Over 30
I like
years.
purple.
It's my favorite color.
very good.
She's
All right,
got
well,
my son.
speedy recovery.
You got a wrap.
My brother's first
Say that.
Uh-huh.
Did I say it out loud?
Oh, we all have, she made shoes for everybody.
Oh my God, it's beautiful. And that's really fun.
This is true.
She
Yeah.
can sing.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Alexandria, how are you
I'm good.
today?
I'm good, how are you?
Nice to
I'm
see you.
gonna
Shabbat
check and see
Shalom.
my son wanted real quick.
Did you hear about the study they recently did?
We just had talking about how we
Can negatively impact brain
we are
function.
alive.
And processed food is now associated with one major study with dementia and cognitive.
Well,
so
we're-
Colbert.
Hook's on yours.
I love to watch. I was
So they can see that we are holding service.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one of these things we go just stop it.
And I could relate, so now I'm like.
Earlier times, we saw the picture that they did right through, and they start calling, say, you're in a problem with
Anyway,
sound.
so like our first.
And like, secondly,
So anyway. Yeah, I guess try to balance it out and not go to too many extremes.
broadcast, so we don't have a mechanism.
Yeah, it's almost time. So are you want me to light the
Work on that now.
I'll do it.
You got it?
And then, well, it's gonna be easy there. Like looking over. But then, the idea for the get the pre-recorded songs into our system, or children's. Is it really? Yeah, we've never, yeah, really? I think I was there once. 4 decades. Including the back of a seat, is that right? Or top, yeah. Yeah. Yes, they are. We'll do our best to go with the flow. Stay with the text. Exactly. Okay. Well, I'll get off the beam.
Shall I invite it? Thank you. Thank you. This is one of my, I get a lot of comments on this.
That's
This is my family service.
Oh, well, with the bubbles.
The bubbles,
like,
yes, exactly. I don't wear like Mickey Mouse ties and things like that.
That's okay.
But,
I'm gonna go out and welcome.
okay, great, yeah, I hope that there are people as well. I was thinking of inviting everybody on the beam. You're set.
Okay.
Great. I will be doing that in years.
I realized, do you have a printout?
I do.
Because I only have it on my phone.
Of the outline? Okay.
I mean, I can use one on my phone.
Okay, well, no, why don't you take mine, because I work by stickies.
Oh, you're
I
a
work
sticky
by
provider.
stickies, yeah.
Sticky provider, okay. Oh, so you're gonna say something about mitzvah bar mitzvah?
Would you like me to? I mean, I was just like,
Because I was thinking of kids and families, and mitzvah are so easy to,
Yeah.
for them to connect to. And it's, you know, it's,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
so it's
yeah,
so
remember
easy.
that.
It's a
good song.
It's
Yeah.
a fun, happy.
yeah, it's a great one. It's a great one, and it's a
I was
yeah.
just like, so like, what can we do as a family?
Is that Kol Beseder?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they got good stuff.
They
Catchy
really do,
tunes.
and I was like, you know, there's new stuff, there's old stuff, but this is an oldie but goodie.
An oldie but a goodie.
Yes,
Yeah,
I like that.
definitely,
Oh,
definitely.
look, we have people. Is Dan ready for us?
Huh?
Is Dan ready for us?
I think so. I think when he hears the music.
This is true.
Shir
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to our monthly family Shabbat service on the first Friday of this month of August. So wonderful to be together as family, together as friends, to celebrate Shabbat and to thank God for all the goodness that's in our lives. I can't believe it's August. Can you believe it's August already? Wow, my kids are going to be back. Our kids are going to be back to school. I got a week.
Yeah.
Wow. So
Yes.
summer has gone by very quickly. We hope you're having an enjoyable summer. Thank you for being with us tonight, where you have a lot of wonderful music and a story and prayers and each other's company together to celebrate Shabbat. So let's now bring in the warmth and bring in the light and bring in the joy of Shabbat. We're to help us do so. We're honored to call upon our dear friend and our dedicated temple librarian and choir member and shofar blower. Am I leaving anything out, Emily? Yes, and many other things, I'm sure. Emily Bergman is going to bring in the Sabbath candles. Emily, let me get you a microphone. And well, for the folks on the live stream. Yes. Yes, for people watching on the live stream, they won't be able to hear without the mic.
In the beginning there was darkness, and the Spirit of God hovered over the darkness. Then God created light, and the work of creation was begun. As we kindle the Sabbath lights, we remember the majesty of creation and rejoice in our ability to witness it again.
Do I read it?
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lechad likner, shel Shabbat.
Well, our thanks to Emily for bringing in the light of Shabbat. And with our Sabbath candles lit, we have our tradition here at Temple Sinai. We ask God's blessings upon us. And I was thinking about this today. I think you all might be aware, but just in case you're not, this is a family service, so we'll all learn together. Lifelong learning is one of our Jewish values. So the blessing that we're going to do, it comes from the Torah. It comes from the book of Numbers. It's called the priestly blessing because the priests in the Jewish temple, which we're going to commemorate at Tisha B'Av this Sunday, they would bless the people with these words. And I'm looking at that stained glass window right there. That's the tribe of Levi. That was the tribe of the priests. And they've got their hands, how they would bless the people with the Yivarechacha, with the priestly blessing, which is also on my podium. And fun fact, what does that remind you of for those of you who watch TV in the 60s and 70s? Mr. Spock, Star Trek. And I know that you probably know the story of Mr. Spock, of Leonard Nimoy with the Vulcan salute, live long and prosper. What's the connection between that and the priestly blessing that we're about to do together, the family blessing we're going to do? Seth?
He remembered seeing that when he was growing up on
Yeah, like the High Holy Days.
And they needed some kind of a different thing, rather than something like a military salute or something like that. And he said, well, how about this?
about that? And I'm going to translate too for our folks on the live stream who may not have heard that. So Leonard Nimoy grew up a Jewish man, but as a boy he grew up in shul and synagogue. During the High Holy Days, he would see the Levites, the people descended from the priests, the Kohanim or the Levites. He'd see them go up in the front of the bima and bless the congregation by putting the hands up. And when it came time for a Star Trek salute, he thought, wait, what about this? He remembered it made such an impact in childhood. So it's on that stained glass window. It's right here. It's part of the Jewish tradition. It's in Star Trek. It's memorialized in Star Trek. And it's in the Torah. And we're going to do it together.
Do you know that not everybody can do this, though?
Oh, can you do it?
I can do it. Can
Let's
you
see
do
who
it?
can do that. Can you all do?
Now
Oh,
bring
very
your
good.
thumbs
David's
in.
got it.
There's
Guys,
some-
you got it? Very
There's something
impressive.
genetic about it that not everybody can do this.
Not everybody can do it, okay? And then some people put it together like that. And that is also meant to symbolize, they say, the Hebrew letter Shin, which is also on the mezuzah, one of the names for God, El Shaddai. So it's symbolizing God's name in that physical movement as well. So we're, yes. Very powerful. And we've got a beautiful version of this family blessing, the priestly blessing. And our custom is to stand together as a community of family and friends. And we invite you to join next to your neighbor and join next to somebody. And you can find these words on the laminated sheet before you.
May God bless you and keep you. May He shine His face upon you and grace you. May He lift His presence unto you and grant you peace. May God bless you and keep you. May she shine her face upon you and grace you. May she lift her presence unto you and grant you peace and grant you peace.
Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Oh my goodness. Everybody looks so comfortable sitting down. It's nice to rest on Shabbat and recline like on Passover. But I'm going to ask you in the next 10 seconds if you're comfortable standing up, because it's our call to worship, the Baruch Hu, on page 6. And we usually do that standing to get our bodies, continue to get our bodies into our prayers. So we're on page 6 for our call to worship, the Baruch Hu.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed.
We now open our hearts to the blessings in life and to their source, the divine presence who is one, who unites all creation, which we express in the affirmation of our faith, the Shema, on page 10.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Please be seated, everybody. Turn to page 12 in our prayer booklet. Page 12. We're going to chant some Torah together. These are, in fact, the words we talked about, the letter Shin that's on the outside of the mezuzah, the Shema, and these words are on the inside of a mezuzah. So we're going to chant these words of Torah together on page 12.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Well, we now sing the song of joy. We sing the song of freedom that our people sang long ago at the miracle of the Red Sea. This is a song of redemption. It's a song of hope for all God's children and for all the earth. Please join us in the Michamocha on page 13.
We've done this melody before, but I'm going to remind you, we're going to start it off with a nigun, song without words. If you can say Yaba Bim Bam, you're halfway there.
All right.
So here we go.
Yabba bim bim bam, yabba bim bim bam, yabba bim bim bam, yabba bim. Ay ay ay, ay 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 ay, yabba bim. Ay ay ay, ay 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 ay, yabba bim. Now the words. Michamocha ba'elim Adonai, Michamocha nedar b'kodesh, Torah tehilo oseh elef, Torah tehilo oseh. Yabba bim bam, yabba bim bim bam, yabba bim bam, yabba bim bim bam, yabba bim. Ay ay ay, ay 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 ay, yabba bim bam, ay 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 ay, yabba bim bam.
Thank you, Cantor. Thank you so much. Well, we're now going to turn to pages 15 and 16 in our prayer booklet. 15 and 16. We are almost at, Yeah, this is about almost literally the center of the prayer booklet, because this is about 31 pages long. And so this is in the middle, and that is appropriate because the prayer that we're now going to do is usually right in the center of Jewish worship, reflective of really being the heart of Jewish worship. You can see on the top of page 15, it's called Amidah. That literally means standing. We're going to, in just a moment, we're going to stand together for the 3 blessings on pages 15 and 16. These are blessings that are almost 2,000 years old, probably 1,500 years old, part of the Talmud, part of the Jewish tradition. Jewish people have been saying these words for at least 1,000 years, and these are words that connect us to God, the divine, the source of life. They connect us to each other, they connect us to our past, they connect us to our future, they connect us to the entire world. So let's all now stand together. We will all Amidah, we will all be standing together as we do the Hebrew on pages 15 and 16.
Adonai sefatai ufi adi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. El Hagadol, Hagibor, Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chasei Avot Primahot, Umevi Geula Livneihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Imani, Baruch atah Adonai, Mane Abraham Bezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol Atah Rav Le'Hoshia, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Berofeh Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato B'Shenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Gedurot, Umidol Melech, Melech Nemit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah l'chachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kedoshim b'chol yom yehalelu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
And please be seated, everybody. Well, turning to page 18, we have a prayer for Shabbat that was written by some young people, some kids at a Jewish summer camp, and then myself and somebody else added some words to it as well to add a little bit to it. I love this prayer because it's written by children. What I also love about it is it's using this image of a stop sign, something we see in our everyday lives, and that Shabbat is like a simile, is like that. Now, this is really relevant to me this week because on Monday, my daughter achieved, she had her car mitzvah. She had her car mitzvah where we went to the DMV, and first try, she took her driving test and she got her driver's license. And yes, very exciting. And I said, I'll see you when you graduate high school. Because she was like, well, because I spent so much time driving with her, and she's like, Dad, I guess I don't need you anymore. I'm like, oh, I guess I'll see you at your graduation. But then I said, you know, I've really enjoyed the time that we've driven together and practiced together. We spent a lot of time practicing driving together. And hours, tens of hours, and we really enjoyed driving together and talking. So it was a great chance for us to talk about her life and my life and, all that type of good stuff. And I said to her, I'm really going to miss, after she got her license, she said, I'm really going to miss our conversations that we've had while driving. And she said, well, Dad, if you want to go driving again sometime, we can go driving again if you'd like to. And I said, I'll take
Very
you up on that
sweet. Take
offer.
it.
Yes. So she knows all about stop signs. She knows all about traffic signals. She knows how far you're supposed to be if a train's coming and how far you have to brake. And we learn about how our holy day of Shabbat is like a stop sign in our lives. So let's read this one together and see if this doesn't resonate with you. Shabbat is a stop sign. Shabbat is a time to rest and be with our family. Shabbat is a time for love and kindness. On Shabbat, we say blessings. We say thank you to God for making the earth, the sun, the flowers, the trees, and all of creation. We say thank you to God for all the good things in our lives and for the miracles that surround us each and every day. We stop and enjoy creation. Shabbat is our stop sign. So thinking of all those good things in our lives that we may be grateful for, appreciative for, recognizing on this holy day of Shabbat the blessings that surround us each and every day, let's spend a few moments now in our very own personal silent prayer and contemplation, talking to God, talking to our soul, connecting with the world in our own personal way as we pray silently.
Sim shalom tova uvracha, sim shalom tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim. Sim shalom tova uvracha, sim shalom tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael amecha. Sim shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael amecha. Sim shalom. Sim shalom tova uvracha. Sim shalom tova uvracha. Chen v'chesed v'rachamim. Sim shalom tova uvracha. Sim shalom tova uvracha. Chen v'chesed v'rachamim.
Cantor, I know where you grew up and the synagogue that you grew up in. I don't know if everybody else knows this too, but could you share with everybody the synagogue you grew up in?
I grew up at Valley Beth Shalom.
Valley Beth Shalom, which is in Encino. And Valley Beth Shalom has had some very famous rabbis and famous people there. Rabbi Harold Schulweiss of blessed memory, one of my personal favorite teachers.
Bat mitzvahed me.
Bat mitzvahed you, oh my goodness.
I'm in an amount of years last July 27th.
Oh
last
my
week.
goodness. Wow, what a gift to have him bat mitzvah you. And Rabbi Ed Feinstein, who is the rabbi there now, who was in some ways a spiritual student of Rabbi Schulweiss and very much Rabbi Schulweiss was his mentor. Rabbi Ed Feinstein, in addition to being a fantastic rabbi and quite a scholar himself, he wrote a book of stories. He's quite a wonderful storyteller, and his book of stories is called Capturing the Moon. And I return to this storybook again and again because these are stories for children, but they're also stories for adults. It's almost like Pixar, right? Right? You see a Pixar movie, it's for kids, but it's also for adults. It's for all of us. Well, one of my favorite stories that Rabbi Ed Feinstein tells in the book Capturing the Moon, I wanted to share with you tonight. So make yourselves comfortable. If there was popcorn, I invite you to have some popcorn. But it's not that much like Pixar, but I think you're going to like this story. It's one of my favorites. And the story goes like this. Once there was a kingdom, everyone called Paradise. A kingdom called Paradise. It was called Paradise not because it was any more beautiful or any richer than any other place, but because of the way the people who lived there cared for one another, the way they treated each other. In this kingdom, if a friend needed something from a friend, someone always stepped in to help them out without even being asked. If a neighbor needed something from a neighbor, someone would respond cheerfully and graciously without ever asking for anything in return. And if a stranger needed something, people came forward to help that stranger with hospitality and with generosity and with kindness. Well, all of this kindness and generosity and warmth and care for one another, all of this was because of the wise king in paradise. The king knew that his subjects would treat one another the way that he treated them, so he was always very careful and attentive, and he was always very helpful to people. And if he couldn't help someone, he would at least listen and express his concern. Quite a wise sovereign. Well, at last the king grew old, and he appointed his son, the prince, to rule in his place when the time came. And soon the king died, and the prince assumed the throne. But the prince was not wise like his father, nor kind, and nor did he treat people the way his father did. The royal ministers approached the prince and declared, "Your Majesty, we have a terrible problem. There's a famine in a certain corner of the land, and the people there are starving. We must do something." The prince's response? They're starving? Yes, starving. They have no food for their children. "Well, I have plenty of food," responded the prince, biting into a big apple from the bowl of fruit before him. "They're starving, I'm sorry. It's not my problem." "Perhaps your Majesty doesn't understand," his advisor said. "People are suffering, and they haven't any food. They'll die if we don't do anything." "Well, I'm sorry, but it's just not my problem." Well, the ministers just shook their heads in disbelief, and they slowly walked away. Then another group of royal messengers approached the throne. Your Majesty, we have a terrible situation. A river has become poison, and the people who live along its banks have no water to drink. We must help them." "No water?" asked the prince even more impatiently as he poured himself a large glass of water. "Yes, Your Majesty, there's no water. People are dying of thirst." "I got plenty of water myself, responded the prince, holding up his big glass of water and his very fancy water glass. I am sorry, but again, this is not my problem. No one in the royal court seemed able to move the prince. Every problem that was presented to him was met with the same bothered look and the same response, sorry, not my problem. Before long, everyone in the kingdom was acting just like the prince. When a friend needed help from a friend or a neighbor needed help from a neighbor, the one who was asked would look bothered and would respond, you need help? Well, I'm sorry, it's not my problem. And since they refused to help one another, they certainly refused to help strangers. Well, soon the kingdom had changed completely. It was no longer paradise. It was a wilderness. It was a wasteland. And soon no one remembered the way things had been. No one remembered the paradise that the kingdom once was. No one but the fishermen. Fishermen remembered the old king and the way things used to be. It hurt him that everyone becomes so selfish as the young prince. If only he could remind the people and teach them the way to treat each other, the way the king used to do. But what was one old fisherman to do? One day he had a solution. He gathered all his money, he bought tools and paint and materials, and he set to work fixing up his old fishing boat. He turned it into a yacht, the most beautiful yacht in the harbor. Fishermen worked hard each day. People came by, they admired his boat. Hey, fisherman, they'd say, when you're done, will you take us for a ride on your beautiful yacht? Sure, he said. Everyone's going to be invited. It took him a year to finish his work. And when the yacht was ready, fishermen made a huge sign. He posted it for everybody to see in the kingdom. He invited everyone to come for a ride on the lake to celebrate the yacht's first voyage. Everyone came that Sunday morning. Even the prince was there. It was a splendid, clear day. The sun shone warmly. The lake was calm, beautiful, beautiful weather to be on the lake. Fisherman guided his yacht onto the lake, and when he reached the middle, far from the shore, he dropped anchor and invited everyone to enjoy themselves. His guests brought out their picnic baskets and their fishing poles. Everyone had a wonderful day on the lake. Late in the afternoon, the wind picked up, and waves started rocking the boat. Fisherman, can we head home now? His guests asked. Sure, said Fisherman. There's just one thing I need to do. He opened up his toolbox. He brought out a large hand drill. He walked to the exact center of the boat, positioned the drill on the hull, and he began to drill. Say, fisherman, what are you doing? People asked. I'm drilling a hole. But why are you drilling a hole? Why? It's a nice day for drilling holes. Why not? But fishermen, if you drill a hole in the boat, water's going to rush in, the boat's going to sink, we're all going to drown, they said. Well, fishermen just continued drilling. Passengers began to cry and beg, fishermen, please stop, you must stop. Nope, my boat, my drill, I'm going to drill this hole. Someone remembered the prince was on board. Get the prince, they shouted. Someone get the prince, he's going to save us. Well, the prince swaggered over. No lowly fisherman was going to ruin his afternoon. He stood over fishermen in his royal robes, and a hush came over the frightened crowd. Fishermen, what are you doing? He asked in his deepest, most commanding voice. I'm drilling a hole, responded fisherman, moving the drill around and around and around. Why are you doing this? Asked the prince in a deep princely tone. Does it feel like it? Responded fisherman without even looking up at the prince. Fisherman, if you make a hole in the boat will sink and we'll all drown, the prince reasoned aloud. Acknowledged fisherman. Small beads of sweat appeared on the brow of the prince. and his voice lost its commanding tone and took on that of a sincerely worried man. "Fisherman, I command you to stop." Fisherman ignored him, and he kept drilling. The prince was quickly losing his composure. Gone were the royal tone and all the royal trappings, and he was just another frightened man. "But fisherman, what gives you the right to do this?" Fisherman explained very slowly. "It's my boat, it's my drill, and I'm going to make a hole. Now please move aside, you're blocking my light." And he continued to drill. The prince began crying and pleading like everyone else. "Please, fisherman, please," he begged. "I don't want to drown. I don't want to get eaten by fish. Please, fisherman, please stop it." When the prince began to cry, Fisherman at last stopped drilling. Yet again a hush came over the crowd. Fisherman looked up at the prince. "You don't want the boat to sink? You don't want to drown?" Fisherman echoed the prince's pleas. Then Fisherman slowly repeated the terrible words that had ruined the kingdom. "Well, I am sorry, but it's not my problem." The prince cried desperately. "What do you mean it's not your problem? Anyone can see that if I have a problem, you have a problem. And if you have a problem, I have a problem. If anyone has a problem, then everyone has a problem because we're all on the same boat." The prince stopped. Like a man who had just figured out a great riddle, he repeated those words slowly. "If I have a problem, you have a problem. If you have a problem, I have a problem. If anyone has a problem, then everyone has a problem because we're all in the same boat. Anyone can see that." "Yes, yes," said Fisherman. "Anyone can see that." "Yes," said everybody on the boat. "Anyone can see that." Well, Fisherman smiled and said, "Now we can go home." So he pulled the drill out of the hole, he turned the boat around, and sailed safely back to the harbor. And the people who got off that boat were all changed. Never, ever again would friend turn to friend, or neighbor turn to neighbor, or anyone turn to a stranger and say those terrible words. Instead, when a friend needed help from a friend, or a neighbor needed a hand from a neighbor, or a stranger needed some kindness, whenever anyone came before the prince, he or she would now hear, "Please, let me help you. Because if you have a problem, I have a problem. And if I have a problem, you have a problem. If anyone has a problem, then everyone has a problem. You see, we're all in the same boat." And once again, the kingdom was paradise. So that is the story called "It's Not My Problem." And it's in the book, Capturing the Moon. And what do y'all think? That's a pretty great story.
You have to wonder where that phrase, "we're all in the same boat" came from.
Right. We're all in the same boat. Yeah.
Had to come from something.
Had to come from somewhere. I get the sense it was somebody on a boat who,
Imagine so.
right, made the
We're
metaphor.
all in it together.
Right? Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yes, yes. Well, I think Temple Sinai is often like paradise. And one of the things that makes Temple Sinai like paradise is that we share in each other's joys. And we also are there to comfort each other during difficult times. And one of the ways we share in each other's joys is during our family service. We like to invite people, if they have a birthday or anniversary or a special extraordinary thing that happened to them during this month, to share with us. And Dan's bringing it up right now. Aha. This is called our Simcha list. Simcha means joy. It means happiness. It means gladness. So we're going to celebrate in each other's joys. So I'm going to get a microphone, and I'm going to get a different microphone. See if this one's a little louder. Can you all hear me? Oh, see, much better. All right. Well, we have two people here tonight. who are celebrating something very special. Sheila and David, would you come on up? Sheila Rhodes and David Brill, and Sheila's going to tell us the relationship and what's special for this month of August.
Well, I'm here this evening with my grandson, David Brill, and he's visiting me, and it's very special.
Hi,
For me,
David.
it's the first time he's come and visit with me.
It's the first time he visited
Just
you
him,
here
yeah.
in Southern California.
Well, I mean, he's been with his family, but now he's alone.
Nice, nice. That's awesome.
You happy?
Have you been doing something fun? Did you guys go on a lake or near the ocean, or do any sightseeing when you were here?
Not really. We're going to the beach tomorrow.
There you go. You going to the beach?
Where did we go today?
Today we went to, what's it called?
Skirball, the Skirball Center.
nice.
We went
did
today.
You see that new deli,
We did.
exhibit?
We saw the deli exhibit, yeah. And
Right.
yesterday we went to the California Science Center, so yeah, we've been busy.
Awesome. Well, sounds like a lot of fun. Which beach are you going to tomorrow? Do you know which
I'm
one?
not sure. It's
Okay.
up to other family members.
Okay, nice. Well, that's great. Yeah. So now in Northern California, where you live, David, tell everybody where you live in Northern California.
I live in a place called Sunnyvale. It's like right in the middle of San Francisco and San Jose. If any of you guys know the YouTuber Mark Rober, that's where he lives. And no, I do not know him, though I do know a person who knows him. I spiked one of those big rubber dodgeballs off her face because she insulted my friend.
It's also Sunnyvale, right near the original home of Camp Swig.
Oh, Camp Swig is the
It's in
Jewish
Saratoga, right,
camp was
right,
in Sunnyvale?
right near it,
Wow.
right near it.
All right, so Camp, you spent some time there?
Oh, a lot of time.
Nice. Is there a beach near Sunnyvale or near where that Camp Swig was? Is there a
We would
beach
go to
there?
Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz,
That
right?
was the closest.
Yeah, there's a lot of places in Santa Cruz. There's Half Moon Bay that I go to sometimes.
Fun. Awesome. Well, thank you for coming here tonight. Thank you.
David's having his bar mitzvah in about 3 months.
Hey, all right, Mazel Tov. Roughly 3 months. Okay. All right, great. So you're studying Torah tropes? Are you studying to chant?
Working on it.
All right. Well, Mazel Tov. We'll wish you an early Mazel Tov to you all. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you. Do you want to continue to stand here? Do we have any other things that we're celebrating? Yes, let's hear it. Yeah, Len, what are we celebrating this month of August?
I'm celebrating my 50th anniversary of being clean and sober off of drugs and alcohol.
Right, 50 years. That's wonderful. That's a golden anniversary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 50 is golden. Well, Mazel Tov. Congratulations, Len. That's an inspiration. All right, other things. Yeah, are we celebrating something, James? Are we doing, yeah? All right, what, you want to come on up and tell us? All right, we got a Dodger fan. Did the Dodgers play today? They're playing now. Okay. Oh, and I like your shark pants. So James, what are we celebrating this month?
So I'm going to kindergarten after camp.
All right, you're going to enter kindergarten. That is something very special to celebrate. And this is after camp. Which camp are you going to?
It's Tom Sawyer, and I have one more week of it.
Oh, nice. So you've already been going to Camp Tom Sawyer? I hear great things about this camp. What's one of your favorite things to do at Camp Tom Sawyer?
Gaga ball.
Oh, what's it called?
Gaga ball.
Oh, Gaga ball. Sure, that's a lot of fun. Nice. Well, it looks like you like balls, right? You get baseball with the Dodgers, Gaga ball at Camp Tom Sawyer, and then you're going to enter kindergarten. That is so exciting. Wow. So is this like next week? One more week, school's starting so early. Well, that is great. Thank you for sharing that. Camp Tom Sawyer, don't they have horses there too? Do you see the horses there? Do you like horses?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Well, I'm so glad that thank you for coming up and sharing that with us. And thank you for sharing that with us. And yes, thank you. And so anything else in August to celebrate?
I'll throw one in there.
Please, Cantor.
August 20th is my parents' 55th wedding anniversary.
Wow. 55th wedding
55
anniversary.
years.
Wow. Mazel tov. Please wish him a mazel tov for us. That is exciting.
It's a big number.
It's a big number.
Sure is.
Wow, well, that's a Simon Tov and Mazel Tov moment. Everything we share tonight is a Simon Tov and Mazel Tov moment. So let's all sing together in celebration of these wonderful occasions.
Clap your hands, sing along. It's a lot of joy. Let's do it together. Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Yehelanu, 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 U'lechol Yisrael, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, U'lechol Yisrael. One more time. Simen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simen Tov, Simen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simen Tov, Simen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simen Tov, Yehelanu.
All right, well, thank you, everybody. And just to let everybody know, we do this at every family service. So if you want us to celebrate your birthday or anniversary or special extraordinary event for the month, we are here to celebrate with you. So let's return to our prayer book now, and right now we're gonna say a prayer of healing for people that we know and care about who are either sick or injured. They're in need of a healing of body, a healing of spirit. And so we're going to pray for them, and we're going to ask God's blessings upon them. We're in the middle of page 24, and please join us in what's called the Mishaberach, this prayer of healing.
Of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
Well, at this time, we invite you to offer the name or names of people you know who are in need of healing. We'll go around the sanctuary. Please raise your hand and call out their name. Maggie? Yes, thank you, Maggie. Yes, Jan. Thank you. Yes, yeah. Carolyn. Yes, thank you. Lynn. Dan? Thank you. Yes. Miguel? Yes. Yeah. I saw some hands over here too. Please. Yes. Yes. And I'm thinking of Dianju Aguilar, our temple caretaker and custodian who's recovering. And I'm also thinking of Dorothy Broomer, as well as all the folks who are listed on the Mishaberach page on the inside of our Shabbat leaflet. We open that now and we pray in our hearts for all these temple members who are in need of healing, all these family members who are in need of healing, and all of these friends and co-workers in need of healing, as we now continue this prayer of healing together.
Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal
Well, we come now to our concluding prayers for this family Shabbat service, and then in just a moment we'll all continue our celebration in the social hall with our Shabbat Oneg. But we turn now to page 26 in our prayer book. Page 26, we come to the adoration prayer, which is called Aleinu. You can find the Aleinu prayer at the top of page 26. We're all going to stand together for this prayer before the open ark. The open ark is a symbol of God's presence, the divine presence in our lives. Let's all stand together as we turn to page 26. Please be seated, everybody.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
Well, Israeli poet and a very courageous hero, Hannah Senesh, wrote something very, very meaningful and wise and touching. You can find it on page 27 of our prayer book, page 27. Hannah Senesh wrote that there are stars up above, so far away, we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we've loved and who have died. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways that we remember them. And so we remember now our loved ones who have passed away, our family members who have died, our friends, members of our community, members of every race and nation who are a blessing to humanity. We think of them now, we honor them through our memory and through our prayer. As I mention the name of a loved one who has passed, I invite you to please stand, and then in just a moment we'll all stand together to recite the Kaddish prayer in just a moment. This Shabbat, we say Kaddish for Ronald Simon. We say Kaddish for Chase Joseph Newton and Ronald C. Jack, Beryl Sosnick, Beverly Sutton, Harvey Hirsch, Phyllis Sivan, Shirley Rosenberg, Eva Hain, Marion Parnes, David Lieberman, Susan Schwartz, and Leon Johnson. And for those who are observing Yahrzeit, the anniversary of the death of a loved one that's commemorated this week, we remember Leah Weinberg and Janet Jeffries and Jennifer Woody. We remember Mary Costanza, Richard Crawford, Esther Eisner. We remember Joan Caffell Ettlinger and Vito Nicotera, Brenda Grappone. Remember Ray Costanza and Dr. Edward Simon, Marcia Richelson, Roz Lenkowski, Morris Gassman. We remember Ralph Weinberg and Yolanda Berlant, We remember John Moore. And we remember Jean Bergman. Is there anybody who's mourning a loss whose name was not mentioned? And if so, we invite you to please raise your hand and mention their name now. Yes, Lynn. Yes, thank you. Well, for all of them, we now stand together as a community of family and friends. As we turn to page 28 in our prayer booklet, page 28, we thank God that they were all with us as we pray. Yitkadal, Yitkadash, Shemei Rabbah, Bialma Divarach Hirutei, Biamlich Malchutei, B'chayechon U'Vyomechon, U'B'chayei D'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agalau V'Zman Kari V'Imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Leolam U'Olmei Almaya. Yitparach V'Yishtabach V'Yitpa'ar V'Yitromam V'Yitnaseh. V'Yitadar V'Yitaleh V'Yitalal Shmei D'Kudesha B'Richu. Le'elam Min Kol Birchata V'Shirata. Tushpachata V'Nechamata. Da'amiran V'Alma V'Imru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chayim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mromav, Hu'ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, V'imru Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn. May we be a source of comfort to all who are bereaved. Together we say, Amen. And please be seated, everybody.
Oseh Shalom b'mromav, Hu ya'aseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, v'imru Amen. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh Shalom, Ya'aseh Shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, Cantor. Thank you to all of you for coming tonight, and thank you to those of you who are Zooming from home. There's a few announcements this evening. Tomorrow there'll be a Zoom Minyan and Torah study at 10:30. On Sunday morning, please join us via Zoom for our Tisha B'Av service at 11. And Lunch and Learn with the Rabbi meets via Zoom on Thursday at 12 p.m. You'll find details about all of this and more in the weekly Temple Sinai email blast. Tonight's flowers are presented by Maggie and Jan Fried for the yahrzeit of Maggie's father, Ralph Weinberg, and her grandmother, Leah Gerber Weinberg. Beth and Gary Kaffel for the yahrzeit of Gary's sister, Joan Kaffel Ettlinger. At the conclusion of the service, everyone is invited to join the Oneg hosted tonight by Sisterhood. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Alexandria. Thank you so much. Alexandria Levitt Amuzkis is our financial secretary and recently joined our new board, so it's so wonderful to have Alexandria as a temple leader and to share the events coming up here at Temple Sinai and being with us on the Bema. We greatly appreciate it. And you know, similar to the story earlier about how helping other and being generous creates a culture of generosity and creates paradise amongst our communities. Cantor, you've chosen a song that sort of reflects the idea of one mitzvah leading to another mitzvah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and this is from the Jewish tradition. This is from the Mishnah, the first layer of the Talmud. And it has been set to music in our lifetime.
Yes,
Yeah.
20, 30, 40, I don't know how many years. A lot of years, but.
Yeah. So and you can find the words inside your Shabbat leaflet. Mitzvah, go rare it mitzvah. Literally one mitzvah leads to another. And
So I'm going to teach a little bit for a second here.
Great.
So I see some young faces in the crowd that may need to wiggle around a little bit, which would be totally cool for this.
Yeah.
So everybody, let's just learn these words real quick. One of them we know very well. Everybody say mitzvah,
mitzvah,
goreret,
goreret,
mitzvah.
mitzvah.
So as the rabbi said, one good deed leads to another good deed. Here's the next. This is the opposite. Everybody say avera.
Avera,
Goreret.
goreret,
Avera.
avera.
So it's one good deed, one not so good deed, one bad deed leads to another bad deed.
Well
And then the
said.
next part, lihiot sadik. Try that.
Lihiot sadik,
To be a good person. Zetov. Everybody say zetov.
zetov,
Zetov me'od.
zetov me'od.
Which means it's good. It's really good. So, this song's got a lot of repetition. It's pretty easy. Feel free to stand up and move around, and you're gonna do some ahs and some hands and all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Right?
fun. Yeah,
So
let's all
here we go.
stand together. Let's
Stand up, everybody. So here we go. Mitzvah goes like this. Mitzvah, goreret, mitzvah. You all have to do this. Woo! Woo! Gotta get the, come on. Let's go. Here we go. Mitzvah, goreret, mitzvah. Woo! Avera, goreret, avera. Mitzvah, goreret, mitzvah. Goreret, mitzvah. Ya la 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 la. Let's try that one more time. Mitzvah, goreret, mitzvah. Woo! Avera, goreret, avera. Mitzvah, goreret, mitzvah. Goreret, mitzvah. Ya la 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 la. Lihiot sadik. Lihiot sadik. Repeat after me. Zeto.
Zeto,
Zeto.
zeto.
Lihiot. Lihiot sadik. Zemazeh. Tomet oh 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 oh. Mitzvah, goreret, mitzvah. Woo! Avera, goreret, avera. Mitzvah, goreret, mitzvah. Goreret, mitzvah. Let's try this one more time. Lihiot.
Lihiot sadik.
Repeat after me. Zeto.
Zeto,
Zeto.
zeto.
Lihiot sadik. Zemazeh. Tomet oh 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 oh. Mitzvah, goreret, mitzvah. Woo! Avera, goreret, avera. Mitzvah, goreret, mitzvah. Goreret, mitzvah. Ya la 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 la. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. See you in the social hall. Thank you, that was wonderful. Yeah,
Takes me back to Swig.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's definitely a classic. That is,
It was so funny what I was thinking. I was like, something fun.
yeah, very fun. Yeah, I love what you did with it with the.
Work on the, maybe getting the printing a little larger.
Oh, right, right. Oh,
Did
you
Jennifer did this for you?
I sent it to her and asked her if she would put it on a song sheet.
I'll just put a little note to it, she'll probably.
blow that up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Yeah, yeah. So how's Remy doing?
She's good.
This is on, yeah.
Did he? What's he doing in this?
It was not
Tonight?
yeah. Because I was sitting there, I was curious for her long. But I sat there and YouTube video was
Right.
How long has he been there?
and I didn't look on Facebook.
Okay.
And prior to that, I mean, he was in the industry.
I don't know, because it said there were people in the waiting room trying to get in. So,
On YouTube?
YouTube, yes.
Okay.
So, yeah, we figured out these
Ollie, we're gonna open up let's see if we can open up these curtains a little bit here.
Okay, can you rotate the